All right, now this is actually a picture of Harper, my son's baptism. And the reason I show it to you is because the person that's baptizing him is actually not a priest. He is a deacon. That is actually Deacon Nick Moliterno. You also may know him as Nick Moliterno. He's one of the catechists in our CCD program this year at IHM. But at that time, he was able to perform baptisms. Now, deacons, they actually work directly for the bishop, and they serve the church. They usually they help in parishes where they don't have enough priest help, or there's a lot of extra work that needs done. So their job is very, very important to the church, and while they are not able to do all the things that priests are able to do, they are actually able to be married and have children. So that's obviously different than priests, but they cannot consecrate the host at Mass, and they cannot perform any of the other sacraments. But like I said, definitely very important parts of our parish life, and they help us out tremendously. You may recognize this guy. Of course, this is Father Fedor, a priest and our church pastor at IHM in St. Joe's. Now, just like you and I, of course, priests, they grow up in the church. They're baptized. They make their first reconciliation, first communion, just like you guys did at the end of last summer. They go on in 8th grade, and they are confirmed. But at some point in their lives, they receive a special calling from God. It's God asking them to give up many of the freedoms and comforts of life and to dedicate their lives fully to the church and shepherding God's people. They go to school to learn all there is to know about being a priest, and to have deep study of the Bible and the teachings of the church. And then they go on to ordination, which is the sacrament of holy order. So that's a sacrament that only priests would get. There is the bishop actually does a special prayer over them, asking God to give them the gifts of the Holy Spirit that are required to carry out the ministry. Priests are given the authority by the Holy Spirit to administer all the sacraments. So they administer, of course, baptisms, first reconciliations, first communions, confirmations. They obviously can marry people, which is another sacrament of the church, and they can give last rites, which is something given to people that are near death. So the priests have very, very important jobs, as you may know. And that's what a priest does. And this is a picture of the late Bishop Murray. Of course, he was the most recent bishop over the Diocese of Youngstown, which is what our church is a part of. Now, you'll notice the decorative hat that he has on his head. That is called a mitre. And the mitre is a symbol of his authority in the church, his authority as a bishop. Also, you'll notice in his left hand there, he's carrying that golden staff. Now that is called a crozier, and that is a symbol of the Good Shepherd, which of course, Jesus is the Good Shepherd. We are his sheep, but Jesus gives that authority to priests, and he works through the priests to shepherd us and to teach us and to take care of us. So that's what a bishop looks like. All right, now this is a Catholic cardinal. This is Cardinal Peter Turkson. He's from Ghana. You'll notice that he is wearing the mitre on the top of his head, a little different look and color. He also carries the crozier, just like the Bishop Murray did, a little different shape and style. And underneath that, he actually, all cardinals wear what's called a zachetto, which is you can see is a bright red color, and it is actually meant to remind them that they should be willing to bleed for God and for His church. So just a kind of a symbolic reminder of the importance of their job in a world that's not always friendly to God and His people. So cardinals, again, they are selected by the Pope. So the Pope selects bishops from all over the world. He'll select certain ones to be cardinals, and they'll be part of the College of Cardinals. Now, the College of Cardinals are important in a couple of different ways. First of all, they are the ones who decide who the next pope will be. So someday when Pope Francis passes away, these cardinals will get together and they will discuss all the different candidates for the Holy Father's position, but they are choosing one of them. So basically, the College of Cardinals, one of the members of the College of Cardinals will ultimately be Pope. But there'll be cases made for why they feel that they're best for the church and why they would be great leaders for all of us. So again, it's a very important job for cardinals. But again, they are originally bishops that are selected because of their holiness and their ability to do that job.